This is my IONIQ 5 with a dead 12 volt battery. If you've been following my videos for a while, then you'll know that I've had a little bit of history with 12 volt batteries in the Kia e-Niro, and it seems that exactly the same problem has happened to the IONIQ 5. It doesn't open, the 12 volt is dead. So the first thing I need to do is to actually get in the car, and to do that I need to open up the key. There's a little button at the bottom, press that, and there's your physical key. Okay, so now I've actually accessed the car, I need to open the bonnet to get to the 12 volt battery. But before I do that, I need to get the jump starter, and the jump starter, annoyingly, is in the boot. So just to show you, it's completely dead. Nothing at all, nothing appears at all. So I'm going to crawl back, open this door first. No, even the door doesn't open. I can't even open the back door. Okay, so I'm going to crawl in the back and get my little battery starter. Now, I did check the other day and it was fully charged, because that would have been embarrassing. This is it. It's a fantastic little device. You may have seen me go through all this already with the Kia e-Niro, but I'm going to do it again now with a Hyundai. And here we go. I really didn't think I was going to have to get under the bonnet of this particular car, you know. I didn't think I had to do it. Thought I'd left all that behind with the Kia e-Niro. But no, here I am, and here's the 12 volt battery. And you'll notice that it was plugged in. Obviously it didn't charge. That would have been too convenient, wouldn't it? So I'll just unplug that. There's the 12 volt battery, so it's not that bit in there, it's there. And you can't actually access the terminals without lifting this up first. And then you'll see there's a little icon there, and it says open, and you have to pull on that. And now we can access the terminals. So we've obviously got positive and negative. So here's the battery starter. First of all, if I click that, we get 4 lights, so that shows that it is fully charged. We plug the jump start leads into there, and then that starts flashing, which is a good sign. And then we'll do so that's onto the negative. I'll just leave that there, and then I'm going to put this onto the positive, and then it should start clicking, and then I've got to turn on the ignition quite quickly. Okay. There we go. And then we need to disconnect this. So you heard the alarm go off. It went off because the door was open, so I probably should have shut the door. But anyway, it's fine. I turned on the car, and the alarm has obviously gone off, and the car has started up, and now it's using a high voltage battery. It's not using the 12 volt. I'm going to put it in utility mode. Once you're in utility mode, then that will, in theory, charge the 12 volt battery. Okay, so here's how it looks inside. Let's go here, and let's get on to utility mode. And to do utility mode, go to EV, and then that little cog, and then utility mode. And it doesn't look like there's a button there to press, but there is. You can press that, and it says activating utility mode. Now what utility mode does is it means that when you're sat in the car, it's using the big, lovely big battery that's underneath us, instead of that stupid pointless 12 volt battery out of there. So when it's on utility mode and we're just sat in the car, you can be doing anything you want, and it's not going to drain that 12 volt battery. And you can see if utility mode is on because it says util down there. Blimey, it's windy. I think I'm going to put down the bonnet actually, otherwise it's going to fly off. In the old days, what you would do is if the 12 volt died, you would drive your petrol car or whatever, you would drive it around for a while to charge it up. The alternator would charge up the 12 volt battery. In theory, the moment you turn on the car and you've got it on ready mode or utility mode, it should be then charging up the 12-volt battery. So if I leave this for long enough, hopefully that'll charge up. So I'm going to plug in the car and just actually try and recharge it a bit. And my concern or my thought is that maybe it's not charging up the 12-volt battery because the high voltage battery is so low. But of course, it should still, 15% of the high voltage battery is still an enormous amount, like far, far more than the 12-volt battery capacity. So I don't think it should be a problem. And it just seems to me that Hyundai, Kia, they fit substandard batteries, and their battery management is, I would say, appalling, because I hear so many reports about other IONIQ 5s having the same issue, and as I experienced it with the Kia e-Niro. Something I will say is that there were no lights on in the car. It was plugged in to charge, and it was on a charging timer, which didn't actually work. I didn't access the app very much, as far as I remember, because that's obviously the more you use the app and all these different things, and the more it will drain the 12-volt. We had just come back from a really long journey, so that's like 2.5 hours of driving back from London. So the 12-volt should have been nicely charged, but there are some reports that there's an issue with the charging door, the charging flap, that maybe it doesn't. I need to look into this properly, but maybe it's still drawing the 12-volt all the way through the night. But that was open. It was open and the thing was plugged in. So I don't think that would be the issue. I didn't have anything plugged in the OBD port. As far as I know, there was nothing going on in this car. And also, it's just worth saying that the app, the BlueLink app, it should have told me if there was an issue with the 12-volt. And it didn't. So if I go to the BlueLink app, it gives me some status. It says like charging door opened, which it is. Lamp okay, 12-volt battery okay. And it didn't give me any kind of message, because I should get a message on there if it was not good. If you look back at my videos about the e-Niro, click the little link up there, you'll see that it was an ongoing saga with my 12-volt battery, and it happened in the first place because of something called OVMS, which is another little thing that plugs into the OBD port. I had that plugged in, and that was drawing a lot of power from the 12-volt battery. And the problem with the 12-volt is that they're rubbish. They don't like being discharged fully, and that discharged it fully. And then at that point, you can get bad cells and stuff, and it will never get better after that. And so the e-Niro was just limping along for months and months, probably over a year, in fact, of just a rubbish 12-volt battery that would occasionally die if we didn't use it for an extended period of time. Then it would die, and I had to keep doing this same thing with this fantastic little box, which has been a saviour. And by the way, get yourself one of these. It doesn't matter what EV you've got, they've all got 12-volt batteries. Get yourself one of these, because they're absolutely brilliant. Just with any car, in fact, but yeah, it's worth having. Also, because you can charge USB devices from it and things, so it's really good to have. This one is brilliant, but they don't make it anymore. So I'm going to link to another one that's similar on Amazon that I've not tried, but it's similar. So, but anything should work, and it doesn't even have to be a particularly powerful one, because ICE cars do require more of a kick to get the 12-volt battery started. Or to get the car started, in fact, whereas this doesn't really need much at all. So you don't have to worry about getting a really expensive one. Anything should do. So yeah, so with the e-Niro I had loads of problems, and I kind of thought that they would have sorted all that by now. So the e-Niro would it would top up the 12-volt battery once a day. I think it was once a day. They may have done an update now that does it more often. Hyundai's Kona did it once a day, and then they changed it to do it more times a day. So just while it's sitting, it should kick in and it should just start charging up that 12-volt. That's the theory anyway. And but it just seems such a stupid thing, doesn't it? I moaned about it so much at the time, but you've got this expensive big car with this expensive big battery sitting underneath, and we're still reliant on this awful old technology, this old 12-volt battery. And it's not like it's just this car, right? Because you can look on forums and you'll find that really most EVs, probably all of them, have suffered. People, also Teslas, have suffered in the past, but Tesla, I believe, have done an update to help that, a software update. And I think the new Teslas, I might be wrong, but the Tesla Model Y, I think, has a decent 12-volt battery, because you can get different types. I mean, our Caravan, we've got a Caravan part there, that's got a 12-volt battery, but that's a leisure, I think they call it a leisure battery, and that's a big, much better one, and it's more suitable for powering electronics and things like that. If you're in your car, whatever EV it is, right, don't just sit in the car and just play around with your stereo and all the rest of it, unless you've got it in like ready mode or utility mode. It's not like a fossil fuel car, is it, where you've got the engine running and you've got exhaust pumping out the back. You don't have to worry about it. You just turn on, get in your car, and always do that foot on the brake and then turn it on, and then you're not using the 12-volt battery. So now I've plugged in and it says waiting to charge, scheduled time, whatever. So I'm going to turn off the schedule and I'm going to get it just charging now. Okay, well, I'll leave the video there. It's not like this has really answered any questions, but again, it's just started a whole new 12-volt saga with a new car. Frankly, I'm a bit bored of it, but we'll see what happens with it. We'll see if this happens again. Luckily, we've got the Nissan Leaf, which has inside it the oldest 12-volt in the history of mankind. It's ancient, and yet that still works. Even though I've got a battery monitor on that, and it kind of tells me that its battery voltage is low and all the rest of it, but it still works. It's absolutely fine. So, you know, if an old Nissan Leaf can do it, why can't this? Of course, having said that, Leaf owners will say, well, yeah, we've had battery issues as well, but oh, it's just a ridiculous situation, isn't it? Anyway, okay, so I'm going to top up the car for a little bit, and hopefully it'll improve the battery. I'll leave it on utility mode for hours just to see what happens there. What I am going to do is I'm going to get a battery monitor like I've got in the Leaf and like I had in the Niro, and I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to just kind of keep an eye on it. If you want one of those battery monitors, they're absolutely fantastic. Have a look at the video up there, and follow the link in the description if you want to buy one yourself. By the way, these are referral links. If they go to Amazon, they're referral links, and I get a little bit of cash, so that you're supporting the channel if you do that. Thank you very much in advance if you do. Hopefully it does not happen again. I don't have the energy to go through all this again. But Hyundai need to get that act together with this, because it is ridiculous, I think. We shouldn't have this issue in a fancy car like this. You know, you're driving around in what looks like a spaceship, and you're still beholden to some stupid lead acid battery in the front. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please press subscribe and the alarm, what's it called? The bell icon, to be notified of other videos. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.